Have you ever lost an opportunity, not because your product wasn't great, but because you didn't know the right words to say at the right time? What if just a few powerful techniques could transform every no into a confident yes? Zig. Ziglar's Secrets of Closing the Sale holds the keys to mastering these skills. In this video, you'll learn how to win trust, overcome objections, and close deals with ease. Whether you're in sales, business, or simply want to influence people more effectively, this book will change the way you communicate. Ready to unlock your potential? Let's get started. Let's start with an example that you can relate with. Let's suppose you're in a store trying to decide whether to buy a new smartphone. The salesperson bombards you with technical details, processor speed, storage capacity, camera specs. But then another salesperson walks up and says, "Imagine capturing every important moment in your life with a camera so sharp it feels like you're reliving it. And what if your phone was fast enough to keep up with your busiest days without slowing you down?" Suddenly, it clicks. You're sold not on the specs, but on the feeling of what this phone can do for you. That's the power of understanding customer behavior and motivation, a concept Zig Ziglar emphasizes in Secrets of Closing the Sale. He reveals that every decision a person makes is driven by two forces: logic and emotion. While facts and figures appeal to logic, it's emotion, the desire to solve a problem, feel secure, or experience joy, that truly drives action. Ziglar says, people don't buy for logical reasons. They buy for emotional reasons. Think about it. Have you ever bought something because it felt right, even if you couldn't fully explain why? This is why understanding what motivates your customer is critical. The actionable insight here: stop focusing solely on what your product is. Instead, focus on what it does for the customer. Ask questions like, how will this make your life easier? Or, what problem does this solve for you? When you tap into their emotions and align your solution with their needs, selling becomes a natural conversation rather than a hard push. Every sale starts with understanding the person in front of you. Build trust, show empathy, and speak to their deeper motivations, and you'll find that closing the deal becomes much easier. Let's send you to the store again. Think about the time you went into a store and immediately felt comfortable with the salesperson. They didn't just start talking about their product, they asked about you. They listened carefully to your needs, made sure they understood your concerns, and offered solutions that felt tailored to you. In that moment, you felt valued, not like just another customer. That connection made it much easier to trust their recommendations and ultimately make a purchase. This is what Zig Ziglar emphasizes in Secrets of Closing the Sale. He teaches that empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is essential in building lasting relationships. Without empathy, sales become transactional. But when you understand your customer's world and show genuine concern, you move from being just a salesperson to a trusted advisor. Ziglar says, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. The key here is shifting from a mindset of, what can I sell? To, how can I help? When you lead with empathy, you begin to see things from the customer's perspective, making it easier to recommend the right solution that truly fits their needs. The actionable insight: take time to listen and ask thoughtful questions. Build a connection before diving into the sales pitch. Show that you genuinely care about the customer's goals, not just the sale itself. By building rapport and trust, you create an environment where both parties win, and the sale becomes a natural result of a strong relationship, not a hard push. Building on the rapport and trust we talked about earlier, effective communication is the next step in the sales process. Once you've established that foundation of trust, it's crucial to maintain and strengthen it through how you communicate. Effective communication is the bridge between a customer's needs and your product's solution. In sales, it's not just about talking, it's about listening, understanding, and responding in ways that resonate. Here's a real-life example. Imagine you're at a car dealership, and the salesperson doesn't just rattle off a list of features about a car. Instead, they ask you, "What's most important to you when choosing a car?" Maybe you mention safety for your family, fuel efficiency for long trips, or reliability for everyday use. Now, instead of just listing features, the salesperson speaks to your specific concerns. This model has top-tier safety features, the best fuel economy in its class, and comes with a lifetime warranty for peace of mind. You can see how this conversation is now tailored to your priorities. This is what Zig Ziglar means when he talks about the power of persuasive language in Secrets of Closing the Sale. Persuasive language isn't about manipulation. It's about framing your message in a way that aligns with the customer's desires. Ziglar emphasizes that words are the most powerful drug used by mankind. By choosing your words carefully, you tap into the customer's emotions and motivations, making it easier for them to connect with what you're offering. But persuasive language is only part of the equation. To be truly effective, you must also master the art of listening actively. Active listening means being fully present, giving the customer your undivided attention, and responding in a way that shows you understand their needs. It's about hearing the words and interpreting the meaning behind them. Ziglar stresses, if you are not taking care of your customer, your competitor will. By listening carefully, you'll uncover valuable insights that allow you to tailor your pitch and provide solutions that matter. Finally, asking the right questions is key to steering the conversation in a productive direction. Instead of asking, "Do you want to buy this?" ask open-ended questions like, "What are the most important features you're looking for?" or "How can this product make your life easier?" These questions invite the customer to express their true needs, giving you the information you need to respond with the perfect solution. The actionable insight here is clear. Hone your communication skills by using persuasive language that speaks directly to your customer's needs, listening actively to understand their deeper motivations, and asking insightful questions that lead the conversation toward a win-win solution. When you communicate effectively, you move from being a seller to a problem solver, and that's when the real magic happens. Building on the previous section about effective communication, handling objections is an extension of those skills. Handling objections is one of the most critical skills in sales, and Zig Ziglar provides some of the best advice on how to turn these challenges into opportunities. Let's consider a real-life example. Imagine you're selling a product, and the customer says, "It's too expensive for my budget." In many cases, salespeople might become defensive or try to justify the price with features or benefits. But Ziglar suggests a better approach. Instead of seeing objections as roadblocks, view them as opportunities to better understand the customer's concerns and provide a more tailored solution. Ziglar teaches that most objections fall into a few common categories, such as price, need, or urgency. For example, when a customer objects about price, it's often not because they don't want to buy. They simply don't see enough value in the product yet. This is where your job as a salesperson is to uncover what truly matters to them and demonstrate how your product delivers that value. As Ziglar says, Objections are nothing more than requests for more information. The key here is to not respond defensively. Instead, ask questions that help you understand the objection better. For instance, you could say, "I understand that price is a concern. Can you share what aspects of the product are most important to you? Let's see if we can find a solution that fits your budget while meeting your needs." This approach shows empathy, invites dialogue, and opens the door to finding creative solutions. Ziglar also emphasizes the importance of turning objections into opportunities to strengthen the sale. If a customer objects on price, for example, it's a chance to highlight additional value, whether it's the longevity of the product, the after-sales service, or the unique features that differentiate it from competitors. A simple price objection can evolve into a discussion about the long-term benefits, making the higher price seem like a worthwhile investment. The actionable insight here is simple. Approach objections with a mindset of curiosity rather than resistance. Use them as an opportunity to dig deeper, uncover true needs, and show how your product meets those needs in a way the customer may not have fully realized. When you turn objections into conversations, you transform potential barriers into stepping stones toward a successful sale. Building on the previous section about handling objections, closing the sale is the natural next step. Closing the sale is where everything you've worked for in the previous steps comes together. After building rapport, listening actively, handling objections, and guiding your customer through their decision-making process, the moment to ask for the sale finally arrives. But knowing how and when to close is what truly separates the successful salespeople from the rest. Let's take a real-world example. You're at the end of a long sales conversation, and the customer seems ready to make a decision, but there's hesitation. Many salespeople might stall, afraid to push too hard for fear of losing the deal. But Zig Ziglar shows us that successful closers understand that if you're not asking for the sale, you're not really selling. The key is recognizing the right moment and using the right closing techniques to guide the customer towards making the final commitment. One of the methods Ziglar recommends is the assumptive close. This technique is simple but powerful. Instead of asking the customer if they want to buy, you assume they already have. For example, instead of saying, "Would you like to go ahead with this?" you could say, "When would you like to have this delivered?" This subtle shift in language creates a sense of certainty, making the decision feel more natural. Another technique Ziglar suggests is the alternative choice close. Instead of asking a yes/no question, you offer two options that both lead to a sale. For example, you might ask, "Would you prefer to have this product shipped today, or would you prefer in-store pickup?" By giving them a choice, you're guiding the conversation toward a purchase without putting them on the spot with a direct yes or no question. But knowing when to close is just as important as knowing how. Ziglar advises listening closely to your customer's language and behavior. If they've been asking a lot of questions about product details, they're likely gathering information to make a final decision. If they've started to visualize themselves using the product, you're in a prime position to close. As Ziglar puts it, you don't close a sale, you open a relationship. The closing isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new phase in your relationship with the customer. The actionable insight here: when it's clear the customer is ready, don't hesitate to close the deal using the right technique. Whether it's assumptive, alternative choice, or another method, the key is to ask for the sale with confidence. Trust that your previous work, building rapport, communicating effectively, and addressing objections has set the stage for this moment. Don't wait for perfection. Seize the opportunity when the customer is ready, and guide them to make the commitment that benefits both of you. Building on the previous section about closing the sale, motivation and self-belief are the essential fuel that powers your ability to successfully implement those closing techniques. Motivation and self-belief are the driving forces that fuel every successful salesperson, and Zig Ziglar underscores just how crucial they are in Secrets of Closing the Sale. Let's reflect on a real-life example. Think of a time when you faced rejection or a tough challenge, but you pushed through because you believed in your abilities or the value of what you were offering. Maybe it was a difficult client or a series of no responses, but you persevered because you had confidence in the product and in yourself. That belief doesn't just help you push forward, it's contagious, and it influences how others perceive you. Ziglar emphasizes the importance of staying motivated, even in the face of rejection. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. This quote captures the essence of perseverance in sales. Success doesn't come overnight, but with consistent effort and a positive mindset, you'll build momentum and gradually improve. Ziglar suggests setting daily goals, celebrating small victories, and constantly feeding your mind with positive thoughts. When you're motivated, you can face setbacks without losing confidence. Building confidence in your product and yourself is equally important. You can't sell something you don't fully believe in. Ziglar teaches that confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from knowing enough and being willing to learn. Confidence is going after Moby Dick in a rowboat and taking tartar sauce with you. In other words, belief in yourself is the key to facing challenges head-on. When you're confident, your belief becomes contagious, and your customers are more likely to believe in your product too. The actionable insight here is simple. Stay motivated by focusing on small, achievable goals and nurturing a mindset that sees setbacks as learning opportunities rather than failures. Build confidence not only in your product, but in your own abilities as a salesperson. When you believe in yourself, your enthusiasm and energy will be reflected in every interaction, making it easier to close the sale and build long-lasting relationships. Zig Ziglar's personal anecdotes and success stories are a goldmine of wisdom, giving us a glimpse into the real-life application of his sales principles. By sharing his own journey, Ziglar not only demonstrates the power of his techniques, but also teaches us the value of persistence, positivity, and learning from both successes and failures. One of Ziglar's most memorable stories is about a time early in his career when he was struggling to make sales. He had faced numerous rejections and doubts, but instead of giving up, he chose to approach each no as a lesson. In one instance, he was working with a client who seemed uninterested. Instead of walking away, Ziglar decided to connect on a personal level. He asked the client about their family, interests, and challenges. This wasn't about pushing the sale, it was about showing genuine interest in the person. Eventually, the client opened up and made a purchase. Ziglar learned that by connecting with the customer on a human level first, the sale often follows naturally. He says, "You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want." Through stories like this, Ziglar teaches us that success in sales isn't just about selling a product. It's about building relationships, being persistent, and maintaining a positive mindset. One of his biggest lessons from his career is that selling is not a one-size-fits-all process. What works for one person may not work for another, and that's why understanding the customer is so crucial. He says, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." Ziglar's story reminds us that sales is a journey, not a destination. The actionable insight here? Take a page from Ziglar's book. When faced with rejection or challenges, shift your perspective and view them as opportunities to grow and learn. Every no is a step closer to a yes, and building authentic connections with customers is often more important than focusing solely on the sale. Ziglar's stories show that success in sales comes from persistence, empathy, and a willingness to learn from every interaction. Ethics in sales is a core principle that Zig Ziglar emphasizes throughout Secrets of Closing the Sale. According to Ziglar, being ethical in sales isn't just about following the rules. It's about doing what's right for both the customer and the salesperson. In a world where salespeople can sometimes be tempted to use manipulative tactics or misrepresent products, Ziglar's approach focuses on integrity, honesty, and building long-term relationships based on trust. Ziglar shares a key insight. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the essence of ethical selling, genuine care for the customer's needs, and an unwavering commitment to delivering value. Rather than focusing on a quick sale, Ziglar believes the ethical salesperson focuses on helping the customer solve a problem or fulfill a need, which creates a win-win situation for both parties. By doing so, trust is built and the customer is more likely to return or refer others to you in the future. A key principle Ziglar advocates is the idea of servant selling. Instead of trying to sell at all costs, ethical salespeople act as servants to the needs of the customer. They listen attentively, provide honest recommendations, and ensure that the customer makes a decision that is genuinely in their best interest. An ethical salesperson never pushes a product that isn't the right fit, and they don't overpromise or mislead about what a product can do. This builds credibility and ensures that the customer feels respected throughout the sales process. The actionable insight here: always approach sales with a mindset of service. Understand that your role is to help customers make the best decision, even if it means walking away from a sale that isn't right for them. When you sell with integrity, you not only close more deals, but you also build a reputation that keeps customers coming back and referring others. Ziglar's emphasis on ethics is a reminder that success in sales is not just about hitting numbers. It's about creating lasting, meaningful relationships rooted in honesty and trust.